with thy spirit. Сохрани Господи, песнь Богородицы, и речи душа моя Господа, и возрадовался Дух Твоего Боже Спаситель.
I thank you so much for this wonderful experience today, and God bless your wonderful work that's coming up in a couple of days. That it be a lot of fun, but also add to the holiness of your life.
About God. We serve the Lord just by standing here in the church. We present ourselves to God, and the church helps us to figure out how to serve Him. Sometimes it's putting us in places that we're not very comfortable, like putting someone in the choir, and they're like, I don't want to be in the choir, I can't sing. But if we care about God, we put our energy towards the liturgy, God will help us with the church to learn how to serve Him. I have met lots of people. I went to seminary. I think you went to Jordanville. I'm sure some of your classmates started out being completely unable to sing. Right? Jordanville too, Father? Yes, you go to your seminary, they can't sing at all. But after...
And it's not too hard to start. You just have to have a Facebook and some friends. And
Orthodoxy is not just a faith, it's a way of life. And so it's by your actions, words, and deeds, you can better attain salvation. So just think about being active participants in your...
See that there's no way that you can live an Orthodox life while doing the same thing that they're doing. It might not be the best career path, so I put, would this life jive with your Orthodox life? So.
I didn't know if you changed it.
I did change it. I had reworked that last week. That was where I don't know what I want to say, but I would say something along this line.
I don't know that I've seen jive.
Cancer about, right? But he said it was one of the most wonderful times in his life because he got to serve these people who were in the darkest times of their lives, right? So for him it was one of the most beautiful times, and I thought, okay, that person can do that. I can go out working in the most atheist, city.
We all face our own very particular set of temptations. We all carry our own cross. I'm sure we could go around, everybody says, this is my cross. Well, you may not want to say that, but in any case, because that sometimes is a very private thing. For some people, their cross are for all of us, our cross is the temptations that we face. Some people face temptation that is homosexual in nature, attraction to someone of the same sex as themselves. That doesn't make them evil, that doesn't make them bad, that does not send them to hell. What they do with that temptation, how they respond to it, the choices that they make in relation to it, that does have an eternal influence. Some people have a cross that they carry, they're attracted to people of the opposite sex. Does that send them to hell? Does that make them a bad person? No. How they respond to that temptation, how they act in the face of that temptation, that's what makes the difference. So it's not whether you're gay or not gay or whatever it is you think you might be. It's how you respond to that. And do you choose to live according to the gospel or according to your will, somebody else's will, the society's will, whatever? If we choose to live according to the gospel, and we all can choose to live according to the gospel, then that's what leads us into the kingdom of heaven.
Lord, hear my voice.
And then we sing the first one from the O Lord have cried on the verses, on the secure.
Leap up, O ye waters of Olam, be jubilant the islands of Alaska, and so forth.
Фейс Восток. Фейс Восток, перекрестились. Если вы делаете что-то не так, don't panic, так, потому что большинство людей все равно не знают, что происходит. Так, они подумают, что все хорошо. Так, просто должно быть благоговейно.
Хвалите имя Господне, хвалите раби Господа, аллилуйя.
Okay, that's what I go.
Самое высокое благодарение Богу – это служение божественной литургии. И сегодня мы Богу благодарны за все, за наш храм, за наш свет, за наши святыни, иконы, мощи. И благодарны, что мы есть у друг друга. Будем чаще приближать к службе, чаще каяться, чаще соединяться со Христом и почувствуем эту благодатную радость от Господа нашего Иисуса Христа. The Orthodox Christians to pray, to love one another. Amen. Благословение Господне на вас, благодатью и человеколюбием, всегда ныне и присно и во веки веков. the Mother of God. Remember, in 1295, this center part was what the hunter discovered in the forest of Kursk. Later, Fyodor Ivanovich, yes, invited the icon to Moscow and added the prophets around the sides. And there's God the Father at the top. So it's actually two pieces. The Tartars split this icon in half. Remember I mentioned that? You can't see the scar in the front, but you can see it in the back. Later, I have photos on my phone. You can come up to me and I'll show you. But we won't take it out of the case now. The icon left in October of 1919. Revolution. Russians left with what they could take in their hands. And over the years, there were different rizas designed and donated to adorn the Kursk icon. There was the Paschal riza, one for the winter, one for Great Lent, one for the summer. Vladika Theophan, remember I mentioned him, Bishop Theophan, when he left Kursk with the Kursk icon, he could take only what he could take. So he took the icon and maybe some personal belongings. And he took the icon as it was. And this is the riza that the icon left Russia in, how we see it today. These cloth covers are now donated by some of our nuns in Jerusalem, some of our faithful in Germany, and we change them often. But the actual metal cover, this is how the icon left Russia in 1919 and eventually, finally, in 1920.
You wanted me to say why I'm serving the 40 days of liturgies this Lent. So what happened this year in my life was pretty drastic. Right after Easter, on Bright Wednesday, I was diagnosed with cancer. And luckily the cancer was the kind that's treatable. And so this year, it was right after Pentecost, I started treatment. I went through radiation, I went through chemo, and thanks be to the Lord that the tumor that I had in my sinuses, in the nasal pharynx area, the tumor that I had is gone. And so hopefully it will not come back. It's a process. It takes another 5 years of scanning quarterly to make sure that the cancer is not coming back, because it has a tendency to do so. But right now, thank God, it's the cancer is left, and I'm in a period right now where I'm recovering. It takes about a year. It takes about a year to get over the effects of the radiation and the chemo. But in my parish, a lot of people, when they have something happen in their life, they come and ask me to do what's called a Kursk-Root. A Kursk-Root is a prayer that's done at the liturgy, a commemoration. It's basically the commemoration, when you give out the little slips with names on it. So people will give you a slip and they'll ask you to commemorate 40 days in a row at a liturgy, which usually I can't do. Because we don't have liturgies every day. But I do, but we do every liturgy for 40 liturgies in a row. But I wanted to bring a thanksgiving to the Lord, to God for everything that's done for me. And sometimes when I ask, well, you got cancer, what are you thanking for? What are you thanking for? You had cancer. Well, first of all, I want to thank God didn't send me the cancer. I sent me the cancer. It was my lifestyle, my choices in life that really gave me the cancer. It wasn't God who did it. But God provided a lot of grace for me. This year, because of my cancer, my parish came together, and it was so beautiful how they got together. They helped me pay the bills. They would get together groups. Regularly, they would get together prayer groups in order to get together and say akafisty and prayers for me. They would arrange to have prayers at their homes at the same time. Not everybody getting together, but at the same time, 20 people or someplace will be praying for me. Everybody would come to me. I had a whole apteka, a pharmacy in in my house. I had shelves and shelves and shelves of all possible remedies for cancer. And not only that, things started happening, like the Hawaii icon came to visit my parish, came to visit me because of that. And quite unexpectedly, then things out. We have now the relics of Saint Anne. We have because of this conference we have. So all these wonderful things that I would have never had in my life started happening. And so I decided to do a tzedakah of my own and serve the liturgy so I can commemorate all those people who wanted me to commemorate 40 days in a row. That's the story.
Thank you very much.
And if you can, please do keep me in your prayers, because I got a 5-year trip to go. Please do. Thank you.
Please do. Thank you. You see how important that is. And we were talking about putting on the armor of Christ. You see, and this is a reality that Father Alexei had to face in his life. And it was a very difficult reality that he had to face. A shocking reality. And here everybody came together. And it says, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I will give. And so here truly, the whole parish came together and prayed. And this wonderful miracle has happened. And so out of thanksgiving, Father is serving these 40 liturgies. And so we thought it would be very, very useful for all of us here to be part of that prayer today and go to liturgy and pray with Father and give thanksgiving unto the Lord for all these blessings that we have. And we here are on a spiritual retreat, and how fitting that we partake of this, isn't it? And so we are thankful, I said, that you allow our youth to sing the liturgy, to partake and to be part of your Thanksgiving prayer. And so this is a very important example for all of you. You have all of your life ahead of you, and there will come trials and tribulations. And this is a very important example of how to properly deal with these trials and tribulations, especially difficult ones. Giving your prayer unto the Lord, asking for God's help. Sure, Father did go to the doctors. He did accept all these medications from all the people, that came forth and tried to help him. But first and foremost, it was the prayer and the reliance of God for his healing. And when he did receive this healing, he is giving thanksgiving unto the Lord. Okay? So this is an example. So do remember that for your life. And this is how we put on the armor of Christ.